Hi, I wanted to talk a little bit about this slider. It's the Neewer ER1 motorized camera slider. It's available on Amazon, probably some other sellers, certainly from the Neewer website. I got it just before Prime Day, and I got a better deal than had I waited for Prime Day. So I'm glad I jumped on that. Mine is the 120 centimeter version, or approximately 4 feet. So a few things, I have some questions if anybody knows, and then I just want to go over how I have things kind of set up on it. Just like to share the different ways I do things. Maybe it'll inspire other people to think outside the box and do things a little bit differently, so that they can customize it to their own needs, to how it fits better into their own camera ecosystem. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about on this is the remote. So a remote is available. You can get it directly from Neewer, from Amazon. From Amazon, it's about $40. From Neewer, I think they have like a coupon on it or something. It's only $30. So not terribly expensive. But from what I can tell, the app is more functional than the remote. So I wouldn't necessarily rush out to buy the remote. Unless you need to, see how well you can operate it without it before you make that expense. Apparently, the 120 centimeter is supposed to come with the remote. One seller on Amazon did have it with a remote. I got it from one that did not have it with the remote. So you'll see other YouTube videos that say the 120 centimeter comes with a remote. That's not necessarily true. But again, you don't necessarily need it. So I don't know that you're necessarily missing out on anything. Another thing I want to talk about are other brands of motorized camera sliders. Of course, there's a ton of these. Some are going to be, way better. They're top of the line, Zeppon, Edelkrone, that type. But there are a few on Amazon that look identical to this Neewer brand. And I mean, when I say identical, it's the construction, everything, down to the knobs is exactly the same. The difference is going to be the logo on here, and then some of the options that might be on this part of the unit might be a little bit different. But otherwise, it is exactly the same. Now, my question about that is, those other brands have different weight ratings. So I saw one with a weight rating of 13 pounds, 15 pounds, and I saw one that had a weight rating of 22 pounds. And now I realize the weight rating is going to change depending on whether you have it at vertically or at an angle. Obviously, vertically is going to have the lowest weight rating. So maybe just putting a phone on it, or a very lightweight point and shoot camera. You probably wouldn't want to put a DSLR or even a mirrorless on there unless it was like one of those really smaller mirrorless. And then at an angle, it basically takes the weight down to half of what it would be when it's level. So if anybody has pushed the weight rating on this beyond 11 pounds, I would appreciate knowing how successful you were. If you noticed any problems, any hiccups with how smoothly the slider moved, please let me know. All right, so one of the other things on this, well, I'll just get into how I have things set up with it. So I'll start with the plate here, or not the plate, but this is a receiver. This is made by Leofoto. Underneath it, it's just kind of a standard. It has a 1/4 inch by 20 screw, so that's 20 threads per inch. That's what that 1/4 by 20 means, for those who don't know. So that receiver, it's made by Leofoto, and mine is a QS-60. There are different sizes: QS-45, QS-50, QS-60, QS-70. You can get those off of Amazon. You can get them from B&H Photo. Leofotousa.com has them. eBay has them. So different options on there. But that receiver it takes one of these plates here, and the plate just fits right in, and then the outer ring of this turns and locks it in. So I'll demonstrate that here so you can see it. Okay, so that's with the tripod head just locked in, and you can see it's not going to go anywhere. I can lift that, I can shake it, it's not going to do anything. So it's really secure. No chance of that coming loose or anything like that. One of the reasons I use that is I have it on all my camera gear, and I use the same size, obviously, so it makes everything modular. I can quickly use one tripod head on another tripod. I can put a gimbal on something, whatever, and just locks in really fast, really quick. Virtually no changeover time. You're not messing around with turning things, trying to screw them on and worrying that you're gonna strip the screws or whatever. And you know that it's going to be on securely. So if anybody is interested in that, yeah, check it out at leofotousa.com, or again, you can check it out on Amazon. They have them there. Okay, so I put Arca plates on the bottom. I might change the direction of this so that it's going sideways, because I may want to use a heavy-duty fluid action tripod head. Not sure what I'm going to do yet, but anyway, it's easy enough to change the direction on this. I also put Arca plates on each end. Just makes it easier to quickly mount into a tripod. The other thing I did with the struts that I bought is I installed these really low profile Arca clamps on the ends, so that instead of having to screw these struts in each time I want to use it, I can just clamp that on at the end. Or if I have two tripods at the end, I can mount the middle Arca plate is long enough that I can mount both these struts, and I can have cross support going toward the tripods that way as well. So one of the reasons I got these low profile ones is because I can easily pack them into the case, and they don't stick out or anything. Don't cause any bulges, so I can easily pack things away. You can see that just fits right in, and I can close the case, and everything will be just kind of snug as a bug in a rug. And then, so one of the other things I did was I got a different ball head. So I got this Artcise ball head. It's dual notched. It's a 34 millimeter ball head. The weight capacity on it is 33 pounds, which far exceeds the weight capacity of the slider itself. It's only about 0.6 pounds in weight itself, maybe 0.7 pounds. It's roughly the same size as the other ball head. So the other ball head is this one. That's the one it came with. This is a 28 millimeter ball head. It's only rated for 11 pounds, but also it just seems a little bit flimsy. Plus it only has a single notch. The dual notch is handy because it gives you a little bit more flexibility, maneuverability on pointing the camera how you want it to go. So, and with it being virtually the same size as the other one, it fits nicely into the case. So it just makes everything a little bit more convenient on that. And then with the batteries, it came with this battery, of course, a newer brand. It did not come with a charger, but this particular battery has a USB-C charging on it, which is kind of the trend that most batteries are going now. A lot of devices are going with that route, so it has direct charging instead of having to plug them into a charger. So the ones I got, it's the same capacity. It's an NPF 750, just like this one. But I got these because it has battery indicator light up here, so that's handy for charging and as well as for seeing where your battery capacity is. The app will also show you how much battery you have left. It'll read the battery capacity on this, so that's pretty handy. So you know, it has a USB-C on one end for charging in, and then USB-A out, and that's for power delivery. So I looked up the specs on it, and you can actually power two devices simultaneously. So you can connect this in to the interface on this, and then you can also power the you could plug a USB cable into here and plug it into the camera and power your camera if you needed to. You know, this isn't a super high capacity, so you'd really want to make sure that you're not trying to do too much with a single battery, otherwise that might shut off in the middle of a project. So you know, just kind of take that with a grain of salt as far as that. I may get larger capacity batteries so that I have plenty of power. The camera does have a USB-C port here, so you can do more direct power, so you can plug in a power bank, or if you have you know, directly from an outlet or something like that, and with a, you know, via USB-C, you can power it that way. You can also see this port here, that's for connecting a camera. So it has I don't know, it's like 6 different kinds of these cables, so it depends on what camera you have as to which one you would use. But anyway, it just helps to control the camera with the app. So so yeah, that's my setup there. You'll notice that I have this tape here. So that's glow-in-the-dark tape. I have reflective tape on my struts. That just helps to give visibility at night, since I do most of night photography. One question I have for anybody that has used this, especially using the app, is regarding the video function and the time-lapse function. The video function, it doesn't seem that I can change the speed to anything less than 100%. And I've tried messing with it within the app. I've tried looking it up. The instructions are somewhat lacking as far as going deep into the weeds with how you use it. And then with the time-lapse function, it seems that you're not able to put it on a loop so that it moves back and forth. It seems to time, you know, you set in your A and B points, and then it kind of determines how far it moves depending on how many exposures you're going to take, how long those exposures are going to last, that kind of thing. And it seems like it'll only go a single direction. So if you can change the speed on the video, and if you can change it so that it will travel back and forth on a loop in time-lapse mode, I would appreciate knowing how to do that, because this is all new to me, so I'm still trying to figure it all out, and I appreciate anybody who has any insights for me. So that's my setup, and appreciate your time, and you guys have a good day. Thanks.